Hello, everyone. Welcome to Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. Once again, this is host and presenter, Iggy. Yay! Thank you for that. Well, guys, Iggy's taking out the big guns tonight. And the first up on the block is a 155 millimeter Howitzer. Now, this Howitzer was developed in 1940 and introduced to the U.S. Army in 1941. It's a 6.1 inch shell size, or 15.5 centimeter, or as I know it, a 155 millimeter gun. It has a split trail that can be put together for the purposes of towing, and you can see the hook there for, not the hook, but the ring for towing. Now, Hasbro introduced this in 2000 as a Korean War weapon, and they had it painted gray. So what I decided to do is to paint it this flat OD green color, so that would be more in line with World War II weapons. And when I put this into storage, well, let's skip that part and go right to what I wanted to talk about. When I took this out of the box, it was all in pieces. One of the trails was detached. The barrel was detached. No, actually, the barrel was shoved in and was sticking out way down here. This spring here was disconnected. The whole assembly here for this plate and this piece here, completely disassembled. What else was wrong with it? Anyway, it took me a while to put all the pieces back together. I didn't have instructions, so what I did was I went online and I saw a picture of it and put it together based on that picture. So it took me, quite a while, but not as long as it did for the 37 millimeter. Someone's sending me a message. Okay. All right. So this had a muzzle velocity of 1,880 feet per second and a maximum range of 48,650 feet. After the war, it was exported to 40 different countries. That's quite a bit. So I imagine one of those we've had problems with, and they were shooting at us with weapons that we created. That's, I guess, karma? I'm not sure. Or irony? Who knows? Anyway, they manufactured about 6,000 of these before 1945. And after the war, they renamed it the M114 or the M114. And that's when they began exporting it to all those countries that I mentioned. This is a cool it's not exactly to scale, I don't think. If you put your Joe next to it, it doesn't look like it's the correct size. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Here is a picture of one in action. And you can see that how large this is compared to the men servicing the weapon. Now, this is after it's fired, so the barrel is completely retracted. Otherwise, it would look like this. So I don't think this is quite to scale, but it's close enough, and I think you would have a lot of fun with this. You still can get it online from, aftermarket, and I think I saw one for $79.99. So how about if we take a walk-around tour of the weapon so you can get a better look for it? All right, let's do that. Let me move this book so that we can go ahead. And this thing is pretty big. It used to have numbers on the side here, And unfortunately, when I painted it, I didn't have the skill to paint around them. It also had a star on one of these shields here, and I had to paint over that too, for the same reason, lacking skill. All right, so let's get this turning around here so you can get a feel for what this is. And I think I just I mentioned it has a split trail. I might as well split it so you can see how that looks. Okay, there's the breech block, I guess. All these pieces here were off. All this assembly was off of the cannon, so I had a difficult time, looking at the pictures and trying to figure out what goes where. And like I said, it took me a while. I've never been sort of a model guy, although I am a model citizen. That one fell flat, didn't it? So what do you think, guys? It's pretty cool, isn't it? Now, what I want to do is show you another one. The other one, here's the shell, which would have been 6.1 inches. And this, it looks larger than that, though, if it was to scale, right? And this is supposed to be the powder, I guess. Although it's, as you see, it would make a lovely scale wastebasket for G.I. Joe's bathroom. So let's move these. Okay, and let me see if I can get the front of it. This might be challenging because the trail is... whoa. I didn't notice this, but this turns back and forth. Look at that. It's got a little room there. Okay. Turning, turning, turning. I'm going to knock something over. I can sense it. Okay. And there's the front of it. This is the spring that had come loose. It was supposed to attach up here. And so this thing was flipped over on that side. I got to admit, though, I felt pretty proud of myself when I figured out how this reassembles without having instructions. Okay, guys, that's the 155. I promised you I was bringing out the big guns tonight. So why don't we do that? So I'm going to see if I can't move this. You know what? I'm going to break it. I just feel it in my bones. I'm not going to disassemble this again. I'm going to try and put a box together that would allow me to not have to take it apart. And I think I just broke it. All right, this is the anti-tank gun that I was talking about. Now, this looks like it's more to scale for G.I. Joe. And I had a devil of a time putting this thing together because every single part was disassembled. So detached from the barrel, the wheels, the wheels here, everything. The trail, the whole thing, nothing but pieces. And again, I had no instructions. So what I had to do is look at pictures and it took me all night to get through this. But I'm kind of proud of myself that I figured it out. I mean, it did take me all night, but eventually, by sticking to it and not giving up, I was able to figure out what I needed to do. I think there is a piece missing, though. I think if we go over here, see how it's got this right here? I think there's supposed to be, the breech, what do they call that? The breech block? I don't know what they call that. But it's supposed to close. You ram the shell in and close. Here's the shell for that. There was two of them, and now I only have one. So That piece is missing. And that's missing, so I'm not sure about what I'm going to do about that. And also, this here looks like it's supposed to have something attached to it, but I have no idea what. I put together all the parts I could and nothing went there. Now, there is a problem with this because I may have made an error in assembly. It just points up in the air. And this is not an anti-aircraft gun, it's an anti-tank gun. So now I got a problem here. I can move it like this to straighten out the barrel, but then it falls back down again. So maybe somehow I can glue it here. See that? Right there at the bottom. Glue it to that. So this is a 3.7 millimeter. And I found a picture. What did I do with the book? I found a picture of it. I purposely looked up oh my God. What did I do with the book? Oh, here it is. It's on the floor down here, guys. I'm sorry about that. I don't have much room to work, and so I have to put things on the floor. And it looks like the bookmark came out when it fell on the floor. All right, so let's see if I can find it quickly for you. 150, 250. These look like Italian weapons over here. I think I'm getting close. Here it is, guys. You can definitely, pardon me, I'm hiccuping. You can definitely recognize it from this picture. You can definitely see what we have here. And like I said, this appears to be more to scale for a G.I. Joe. So what's it say about this? It's 1.5 inches, so an inch and a half, or 3.7 centimeters, or 37 millimeters. It had a muzzle velocity of 2,540 feet. It had an effective range of 29,000 feet. It could penetrate up to 2.1 inches of armor. So I doubt if it would, like, puncture a king tiger, but you could make it throw its track. And that's probably what they did, was aim at the tracks. Perhaps from the side of the vehicle they could punch a hole, but I'm not sure what the thickness of the armor is on the king tiger. So there you have it, guys. It was introduced in 1937, and it says it's an anti-aircraft gun. I thought it was an anti-tank gun. Said that production was halted in 1943 when the 2.2 inch M1 anti-aircraft gun was introduced. It was deployed in the Pacific till the end of the war because Japanese tanks were lightly armored, so they weren't obsolete in the Pacific theater. It said that the gun's lightweight was an advantage in jungle warfare, and it didn't have to be towed by a motor vehicle. So I guess maybe a couple guys dragged it. I don't know. Maybe a horse or a mule. All right, that's it. Oh, it says it's an anti-tank cannon, but used also as an anti-aircraft gun. That's interesting. Okay, I did not know that. It says the U.S. Armed Forces standard anti-aircraft gun, but up here it says anti-tank cannon, M3 anti-tank cannon. Well, there you go, guys. That's definitely the weapon that we're looking at here. So I hope you like this presentation of varying sizes of weapons. And they were developed in 1937 and 1940, used in Europe and also in the Japanese theater of operation. Well, not Japanese theater, but you guys know what I mean. In the Pacific why am I blanking out? Pacific Theater of Operations. Why couldn't I think of that? I'm getting worse, guys. Today I forgot to take out the trash. And I even woke up this morning at 7:30, went outside, went to the trash cans, looked around and go, "Oh, I don't have to put them out. Today's Tuesday." Today is not Tuesday. Today is Thursday. The truck comes at 7 and in the beginning of our neighborhood, and by 8 o'clock it picks up our trash. So now we got 2 full trash cans for a week. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 adults living in this building that I'm living at. So you can imagine how quickly that's going to fill up again, or actually overflow. But sometimes Iggy is missing his marbles, so to speak. But that's all I got for you this time. I hope you enjoyed looking at these cannons made by Hasbro for G.I. Joe. I'm not sure what year this came out. I know that the 155 came out in 2007. Let me see if it has any identification marks. No, I don't have any info on this. I'll have to look it up. Okay, guys, that's all I got for you this time. And I'm not sure what I'll do next, but we're starting to dwindle down now. After about 260 videos, I've pretty much covered everything that was in storage. I just have a few more videos to make, and I'll probably be done by the middle of October. So it's the final countdown before Iggy disappears and takes his irritating personality with him. All right, guys. I hope that... Oh, what's in my beard? Oh, that's not good. Scrambled eggs. Great. Glad I'm not going out anywhere. Can you imagine? What's that in your beard? What? It's disgusting. Well, thank you. I am disgusting. So that's it. I'm going to say goodnight, and I hope you guys have a good evening too, okay? Take care. Oh, by the way, I saw this on eBay for $69.99, so $10 less than the 155. I think if I was to choose between the two with my money, I would get the 155, and I would put it on display with sandbags encircling it, and then put up some netting with the camouflage and put it on display that way. I think that would be really awesome to see. And it would fit on a bookshelf, so that's another cool thing. All right, guys. Adios.